we have shown a lot of respect yesterday to a witness who was here because he's a senior citizen, over 80 years old. And I can assure you, if you cooperate, this committee is going to respect you so much, to treat you with respect. Just conduct yourself like a person of advanced age. You will see you are going to enjoy your stay here. Honorable Ngola.
Thank you very much, Chair. Just a follow-up on the Adams complaint. So, are you aware, Chief of Staff, that Mr. Adams opened the case on the 28th of October 2024 in Cape Town and later opened another case on the 30th of October in 2024 in Gauteng? So it's just in between less than 2 days. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not.
I put it to you that the complaint, there is a less than 48 hours complaint. A complaint talking about that there was delayed investigation and there was interception. So do you think the complaint is reasonable given these facts?
When I'm looking to the complaint itself, it does not give an indication to me receiving a complaint about those time factor. It's only referred to case numbers, of which case numbers you wouldn't know when was it registered. But to comment as a detective myself or as a trained police officer myself, to comment on that, when the case is registered at the church office, you come, you lay a complaint and it's get registered. You are not expecting results of your case in less than 2 days or less than 24 hours. But you will expect that Cedric Nkabinde is an investigating officer of my case, a person that I can make a follow-up on. So if instead of your case is allocated to the detectives and it's intercepted, it's been removed, it raises red flags. Why it's not allocated? It's just a comment as my experience as a police officer.
Thank you, Chair. We will pursue the matter further later.
Honorable Nomvalo.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. No, I wanted to check with Mr. Nkabinde. He said the complainant had lost confidence in the National Commissioner. So I wanted to check, did the complainant liaise directly with the National Commissioner before sending the complaint to the National Commissioner's office? And if so, how many times did he liaise with the National Commissioner? And which mode of communication did he use to liaise with the National Commissioner?
Thank you, Chair. When we receive complaints, like any other complaints, you treat it as you received. I never interrogated. First of all, I did not even know Mr. Adams. So I never even interrogated and asked him, if you are now showing a loss of confidence in the National Commissioner as you are alleging, what made you to do that? What happened? I just treated the complaint as it is and channel it to the relevant people. Like when it comes to complaints, Chairperson, we receive more than 100 complaints almost per day. For you is to read, refer. refer to the HOCs, refer to IP, refer to the National Commissioner. So you don't, because you don't also want to get into the space where you now literally investigate a matter as a office of the minister.
Yeah, my question premises from the proposition that you have made that, in fact, you were convincing the committee that you could see that this person has lost confidence in the National Commissioner. Now, the impression that you gave to me is that this person has attempted not once, not twice, to engage the National Commissioner or to raise his complaints with the National Commissioner with no success. Hence, I'm asking, because you can't just throw statements with no supporting evidence. Hence, I'm asking, what makes you to arrive to that conclusion that he lost confidence in the National Commissioner? Did he try to speak to the National Commissioner? If yes, how many times? Because you can't lose confidence in person you have never spoken to.
Thank you, Chair. The nature of a complaint, the content of his email, it was suffice that he's indicating that he's now lost confidence, because he even saying that if indeed the National Commissioner's position is compromised, so now he's alleging that he does not trust now anything from the National Commissioner because he's alleging that he's compromised. But I did not interrogate it further because I don't even know Mr. Adam at that stage. I did not even call him and say, why you are saying National Commissioner is compromised? On what basis? I could not do that because also at the office of the ministry, we also avoid to enter into the space of operational matters. You rather refer, then they give a report.
So following what you have just said, we should take such remarks to be his assertions, and you don't have ownership of them. That's what he said, and it remains his assertions.
That is correct, Chair.
Okay, no, thanks, Chair.
You pass the microphone to Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Nkabinde, earlier, if you remember, we spoke about iPad, that they are independent.
Sure.
They are not like they are not like SAPS in particular. Hence, the honorable member complained about the National Commissioner. Now, it's evident. I mean, today we know that, as he said to you, that he doesn't have any confidence to the National Commissioner. Though, as my colleagues has already spoken about, when the case was opened, in 2 days' time, after opening the case here, it was opened in Gauteng. Now, I understand that, as you said, you are a trained policeman as well. But don't you find it strange yourself? Let me start there.
In terms of timelines, based on this complaint, there is no indication when these dockets were registered. I don't have that because the complaint is just in reference to the case numbers. So with the case number, you can't deduce when was this case registered.
So he never divulged that he opened a case 2 days earlier.
He never, because we never spoke. He's just sent them in email.
Now you okay. Perhaps this will come, Chair, when we are asking questions, because really it's a concern that the honorable member, without even talking to the National Commissioner, he cast aspersions and lost confidence in the National Commission. Hence, he came direct to you, and knowing that iPad reports directly to the minister. The independent story is a debate for a later stage. Thank you, Chair.
May we proceed, SC?
Thank you, Honourable Chair, honourable members. Can I, the next few questions, Mr. Nkabinde, I'm going to refer to this exhibit bundle, which you've got. It's marked page 267 through to 308.
I do have.
You've got it?
Yes, I got it.
Now, the first reference is at page 283. And if you go to the bottom, you'll see that email from Sakina Frenchman, email dated 1 November, addressed to the minister.
Yes.
And you'll see the case dockets referred to. And then in the middle, or towards the top, the second email is from yourself to Major General Sabola and Brigadier Letoko. Good morning, Major General Sabolo. The ministry has received this complaint from the Member of Parliament. In order for the ministry to respond accordingly, please furnish this office with a report responding to this complaint and the details of the investigating officer who was assigned. Your report is expected on Monday, the 4th of November, 2024 at 1500 hours.
That's correct.
Now, if you go to MK15 and to page 273, that's the information note that was sent to the National Commissioner Inspectorate. Sorry, the page reference is 285. My apologies.
Okay.
It's to the minister, and this is from the Inspectorate. Now, I've read this to you previously.
Yes.
The point I want to make is that this report you'll see on page 287. And it's dated the 4th of November 2024.
That's correct.
That's exactly the request. Let's call it that. The request you made is that you want a report by the 4th of November. So it says this office recommends that an extension of 10 days is provided in order for the following to be conducted, whereafter a comprehensive report can be provided. And it is also signed by the minister on the 8th of November.
I can see it.
Yeah. So first things first, the cases that are referred to, if you look at page 268, from the email from Sakina Frenchman on behalf of Honourable Member Fadil Adams, the case numbers there. Langplata Police Station, and in 3 other cases registered at the Orlando Police Station. If you go to page 275, which forms part of the information note to the National Commissioner, you see that?
Yes, I see it.
They appear to be exactly the same cases.
I can see it.
So help us then understand why you say this complaint you've referred to the inspectorate, to the National Commissioner, and with respect, given most people's experience, it's dealt with relatively quickly, you must admit. You send it on the 1st of November, they come back to you with a report dated the 4th of November, and they say, we still need to interview the complainant, but give us 10 days and we'll give you a more comprehensive report. In relation to the same subject matter, my question to you then still is, why do you then refer the matter to IDAC when it is clear from the inspectorate in their report to the National Commissioner that the matter is being dealt with and that you must give them an extra 10 days?
Chair, to make it clear with this and make it honorable member to understand. Yes, these are in relation to the same case numbers. These are in relation to the same case numbers. But inspectorate does not investigate crime. Inspectorate does not investigate criminal matter or a criminal docket. The function of the inspectorate is to investigate any service delivery complaints when a person is not happy with a service delivery that has to be rendered to him. Now, if I can make an example, Chair. I'm here, someone come and assault me. Or a member of parliament come and assault me. I'm just making an example.
That's not a good example.
And then you go and open an assault case at the police station. It does not mean that if I report the member to the ethics committee, the assault case as a criminal docket must not be investigated. So it's a similar question here. There is nothing wrong with what inspectorate is doing. They are doing very good to check why this docket were intercepted, why there was such a delay to allocate an investigating officer to these cases. Was there any possible corruption? Was there any possible defeating the ends of justice? Because inspectorate does not investigate criminal matters. It's only detectives that investigate criminal matters. So now, while this process is ongoing, there is nothing wrong also to ensure the criminal docket is get investigated. That's what was my understanding, Chair. Because the process of inspectorate should not hinder the process of investigating this case. So it's just a parallel process, which it can even go parallel.
But with respect, Mr. Nkabinde, far from hindering the complaints process, the investigating process, the inspectorate tells you, because I'm sure you'll agree with me, they play also a screening role. Because now they say, well, we first have to interview the complainant, after which presumably it will be farmed out to the correct unit to deal with it. But besides that, Mr. Nkabinde, you make a request short of a demand to the National Commissioner in your email that I read to you on the 1st of November, and you say, can we please get a report from you by the 4th of November? And they do that.
Yes, of a service complaint, complaint,
So-
not a criminal docket investigation.
So on what basis do you then take this matter, knowing that the police are dealing with the
That will
matter?
be defeating, Chair. You can't because a service delivery complaint is being dealt with, then the criminal case must not be investigated. It can't be. That's a defeating.
Well,
Because the inspectorate does not investigate criminal matters.
if you look,
In fact, inspectorate should just get copies of those dockets and investigate their service delivery complaint and let the docket criminally get investigated. So you cannot now, if inspectorate will take 3 months, I'm just making an example, to investigate the service delivery complaint. It can't be correct that for the next 3 months, the criminal matter is not get investigated. I'm not defending why even Adams laid a complaint or what. I'm just in principle and general practice that I treated this matter as a 2 separate matters.
Mr. Nkabinde, I don't understand why you distinguish between a service delivery complaint. Where's a case number which says this is a service delivery complaint case number?
It
So-
can't have a case number.
No, it can't.
Yes,
Exactly.
it can't have a case number.
It's the 4 or 6 cases that Mr. Adams had complained about. I mean, it's clear from the information note, and it's also clear from your own.
Hence, I'm saying, Chair,
Can I just
thank
complete
you.
my point? Your annexure CMN 5 is the complaint or the referral to IDAC. Can we agree that the case or the cases that are referred to are exactly the same?
yes, they're exactly the same
Exactly the same.
in different processes, yes.
So what's the difference?
The difference, inspectorate is dealing with a service delivery complaint. The docket has still, even if this docket, if I can make it example easier for you, Chair. Even if these matters were never referred to IDAC, say for instance, he never complained about the National Commissioner, another detective should have proceeded to investigate this criminal matter, while inspectorate is busy investigating service delivery complaints, irrespective of it was referred to IDAC.
Now, you were quick to refer Mr. Adams's complaint to the National Commissioner, demanding a response by the 4th of November. If you were minded to regard the complaint as a very serious matter involving corruption, why did you refer it to the National Commissioner? And you've also got, of course, experience as a police officer, knowing that the National Commissioner would refer it to the inspectorate because that is what they do. He refers complaints to them, isn't it?
Yes, while criminal is being dealt with.
But you're right. They're not
Yeah.
the ones who are going to deal with the complaint. They will farm it out or refer it to the relevant unit to deal.
No, they don't do that. They don't work like that.
So
Their job is not to allocate the dockets. Their job is to investigate why the complainant is not satisfied, why his docket were not allocated timelessly. But investigating a case, hence I'm saying, Chair, even if this matter I never referred to to IDEC, but these two parallel processes would have been done because a detective in Western Cape would have proceeded with investigating this criminal matter, while inspectorate is busy checking why the complainant is not satisfied with the service delivery.
So why didn't you write to the detectives in the Western Cape and the detectives in Gauteng and say, Honorable Member Adams has referred this matter to us. After he's referred it to you, he's had no joy. Can you please deal with the matter? Why didn't you do that, knowing that there'll be some weight behind your email because you are now writing on behalf of the minister?
You can't do that if a complainant is showing that he lost confidence in the National Commissioner. So the moment a person is showing that he does not have confidence in the National Commissioner and he's requesting an independent body to investigate his matters, you can't refer it back to the National Commissioner.
You see, I still fail to understand, and with respect, I'm sure that that most people listening or watching would fail to understand why you make a demand of the National Commissioner to respond by the 4th. The inspectorate, and I'm reading to you from their mandate. Their mandate is, I'm not going to, it's in terms of a national instruction, in terms of the relevant section, is to ensure they are responsible to ensure investigation of specific service complaints, which in their discretion, based on the relevant merits or circumstances, require to be investigated.
That is their job, to investigate service delivery complaints. They do not investigate criminal matters. They do not investigate dockets. In fact, they were not even supposed to uplift those dockets because it's not their job to investigate dockets. If their service delivery complaints is in relation to those dockets, at least what they could do is to make copies of those dockets and carry on to investigate their service delivery complaint while the detective is continuing investigating a criminal matter. Because you cannot, because inspectorate is dealing with the matter, you cannot hinder the criminal investigation.
It's not hindering the criminal investigation.
Honorable Nomvalo.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. Mr. Nkabinde, I just want to check. For you to make a determination that a person, any person, not just Mr. Adams, has lost confidence in the National Commissioner, what do you actually ascertain? What makes you to arrive to that conclusion?
It's a content of his email. That's what he said.
So you rely on what he says?
Yes, whether he's true or not, then I can't get involved.
And then you act as such?
Yes.
So if I come to you and say, I've lost confidence in the National Commissioner, do this, you will do it. And you will believe, because once you do as he says, or as he suggests, that means you also believe what he says. And it means for you to believe what he says, you don't need any further verification. You just rely on his words.
In this case, Chair, hence I'm saying we are receiving hundreds of complaints per day. Then you screen them, you refer them accordingly to the relevant authority. So now, each complaint has on its merits. In this one, when I screen this one, the ultimate goal for this person he wants to see his cases get investigated. That's what he wants to see. And is requesting that because of whatever is saying, whether it's true or not, he requests an independent board to investigate.
No, so don't you think that it was not going to, or don't you think that it was going to accord with rationality for you to first ascertain if really attempts were made by this person to address his concerns with the National Commissioner, and the National Commissioner failed to act before you arrive to a conclusion? Because my problem here is that you are taking ownership of this thing. You are saying this person lost confidence, and you are owning that assertion. You are not even saying he said he lost confidence. You confidently justify your actions on the basis that, according to you now, you are saying he lost confidence in the National Commissioner. So you just relied on what he said. He just said, I lost confidence, and then boom. Yes, he lost confidence, then you acted.
That's what he said. Whether it's true or not, that's what he said. Then I'm referring complaint as I received them according to its merit.
The reason why I'm citing it now is because you are making it a justification for your actions. It's now today in this session, you are saying because he lost confidence, you acted in a manner that you acted. You are not even saying because he said he lost confidence. You are owning it as if you verified that loss of confidence or the reasons for a loss of confidence. So don't you think maybe you should have acted much better by verifying if really this allegation of losing confidence had a foundational reason or a solid foundation? Don't you think maybe you were supposed to engage the National Commissioner to see if really he did not attend accordingly to this complaint? And then you make a conclusion that even after my own assessment, I could really make a determination that really there was a reason to lose confidence here. Don't you think so?
Chair, maybe before I answer, let me clarify this. I'm not saying I refer this thing because the complainant has lost confidence. I want to clarify that that is what he said in his email. I'm not taking an ownership by him losing, because I'm not sure whether it's true or false. But when we're receiving complaint, it's highly impossible that I can start do that preliminary investigations, because in all the complaints, it's either it's correct or it's true or it's false. You rather refer it where it will get investigated, because that will mean not only this one, all the complainer will then need to do a preliminary investigation, of which in the office of the ministry, we cannot get into that operational matters.
Yeah, but my problem, I'm not even there. My problem is what you are doing now when you respond to the SC. You are taking ownership. You keep on saying he lost confidence. This person lost confidence, as if really there's something you did to establish that assertion. Whereas you did nothing, you just relied on what he told you and acted according to what he instructed you to do. So that's where my problem is. I'm not blaming you for failing to make a verification, but I'm saying here the mistake you are making is that I'm trying to rescue you, by the way, because you keep on taking ownership of this assertion that was made by him. It's now your assertion. Are you willing to correct it?
No, that's what I'm correcting, Chair, that I acted based on what he was saying in his email. I'm not taking ownership of whether he's correct or he's wrong.
Well, thank you, Chair.
Skhosana.
Thank you, Chair. I'm going to be quick, Chair. You know, I know that we have to finish early today. But Mr. Nkabinde, you said you are receiving how many emails a day in your office?
Almost 100.
Are you giving attention?
Average.
Are you giving the attention you gave to Mr. Adams' email, Honorable Adams' email?
If I have my laptop here, you would have seen how many emails referral I made at the same time while I was dealing with that, because that complaint there's nothing special about it. I don't even know even the merits. What was it for?
Yeah, but
You can
Mr.
even see even it even having a limited information. It's case numbers, unlawful intercepted. Please go and investigate. So there's nothing special about Adam's complaint.
Yeah, but Mr. Nkabinde, you know that it's abnormal. As my colleague has said, Honorable Mola, that within 2 days, a person open a case in Cape Town, then he goes to Gauteng and open a case, and then that case is referred to a national commissioner. In other words, every citizen, if he's hearing us here, as we speak now, people should send emails when they are not happy to you to give it to the national commissioner for attention. Without any basis. In 2 days' time, I'm saying I'm opening a case. I've opened a case myself. It's 2 years now. I've never bothered the national commissioner about that, about my unhappiness. But a person who opened a case within 2 days is raising that, and you send that to the national commissioner to attend that matter. Is that fair in your view? That for the national commissioner himself, that he must attend every case which people are sending to you, because somebody feels perhaps is an animal farm, is more important than the others. But you said to me, you are getting 100 and your laptop is not here. In other words, all those referrals daily in a month is 3,000 almost. So okay, say 1,000. The national commission must attend to that. And you open a case in your nearest police station. If he's not happy to open a case here in town or wherever he stays, then he will go to Durban next month. They'll run a parallel investigation. It's wasting state money. You can. I'm not condoning what you say, that it can be run parallel. For me, it's bizarre. But anyway, you gave that attention to the national commissioner. But I'm a bit worried the way you are defending this matter, in particular of Honorable Adams. I thank you, Chair. It was a comment.
Honorable Matthews.
Chair, my question is that the witness has indicated he receives hundreds of emails. So can you tell us how many of these, since you've been in office, have you referred to IDEC more or less?
This was the first one.
Okay, thank you.
May we proceed, Esther?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Mr. Nkabinde, the Minister, and if you want me to take you there again, I'll take you, on page 288 of that bundle. The Minister signs off on the information note. You've seen that?
Yes, I seen it.
And that is on the 8th of November 2024.
That's correct.
What does that indicate to you?
To me, it indicated that a service delivery complaint has been dealt with. That is my indication.
No,
Service delivery complaint has been attended to.
No, surely is
Then they
indicating,
are requesting extension.
Mr. Nkabinde surely is indicating that he agrees with the recommendation, which is that an extension of 10 working days is recommended for the following to be conducted: interview with the complainant to obtain a detailed affidavit, perusal of all the criminal dockets, including the Valeria docket, determine if any other government department is investigating the same allegations. That is what the minister is endorsing
Which is
when he
good.
signs. Sorry?
Which is good.
Which is good.
Yeah, it's good.
So-
The
so
service
why-
delivery complaint has been attended
No,
to.
no, no,
So
very-
why do
no,
you-
no, 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 no. We can't do our business like that. Can we have one speaker at the same time? Yeah? Can we have one speaker at a time? Please. Let's proceed.
So, Mr. Nkabinde, explain, why do you, in your referral, which is CMN 5 to IDEC, why do you attach, for ease of reference, and I'm reading from your referral, a copy of a written correspondence addressed to the Honourable Minister by Member of Parliament Honourable Fadil Adams, referring to exactly the same case numbers? You,
Was it
you
different?
fail. Well, the chair said only one of us can speak at a time. You fail to indicate to IDEC that the same complaint has been referred to the inspectorate. The inspectorate has indicated that they need more time to look into the matter, essentially. The minister has signed off on it. It seems to me you acted entirely on your own by referring this matter to IDEC. And while I'm still speaking, can I ask you, did you look, you couldn't have, did you look into any of these dockets? You
That's
didn't
n-
have them.
That's not my job. We can't look into the docket. We
Well-
refer to the relevant people to look into the docket. And when you're referring to this info note that the minister signed, he did very well to acknowledge the work of the inspectorate. And for if Chairperson, Honorable Senior Counsel is saying why I never indicated to IDEC that inspectorate is dealing with the matter. IDEC has nothing to do with inspectorate, because inspectorate, they are dealing with service delivery complaint. Hence, I'm saying even if these dockets were not referred to IDEC, the investigating officer here in Cape Town would have proceeded to investigate these cases, while inspectorate is busy investigating service delivery complaints.
Mr. Nkabinde, you obviously didn't look into the docket or the content of the docket, and you rely entirely on an email sent to you and to the minister, isn't it?
Correct?
Make certain allegations that he's reported these cases, you've got a case number, you don't know what's, and he makes allegations of theft, nepotism, and fraud. That's what you sit with. Now, this is what the inspectorate says. May I refer you to page 290? Complaint against the South African Police Service, allegations of corruption and defeating the ends of justice, complainant F. Adams, MP. In the discussion, they referred to the allegations in the 6 cases. And then this is what they say at paragraph 3.2. The affidavits in the dockets are basic and, in the opinion of this office, lack the elements of a crime. As part of the protocols to address service complaints, an affidavit is obtained from the complainant. Colonel Philip of this office was tasked to obtain the affidavit. However, after numerous attempts, it seems as if the complainant is evading the request. And Colonel Philip's affidavit is attached as proof. Then the recommendation at 4.1, due to the sensitive nature of the allegations, which has been widely announced by the complainant, it is imperative that before any criminal investigation is launched, your office peruse the affidavits to provide a legal opinion on whether the elements of a crime exist and advise on the way forward. So, Mr. Nkabinde, you must accept, not having looked at the you not having looked at the dockets yourself, and given that the inspectorate themselves had looked at it, and I can refer you to the affidavit of Mr. Faiz Philip on page 292. Where he says, as part of my duties, I also assist investigations of service complaints received at Division Inspectorate. I was tasked to assist a service complaint leveled by Ms. Fadil Adams, MP, wherein he alleged that the SEPS provincial officers had interfered in the investigation of criminal dockets opened at Cape Town Central SEPS and Orlando SEPS. These are exactly the same complaints that you referred. The allegation, I'm quoting him, the allegations contained in the criminal dockets were directed at senior officers attached to the Division Crime Intelligence. So the complaints were viewed with the necessary seriousness. It was referred to an opinion, and the upshot. Where's the final? The final opinion in the starts at 293, where the Divisional Commissioner Legal Services, Lieutenant General Chamani, on the 11th of December. So it's moving quite fairly quickly, really rapidly.
And I'm very impressed myself.
And this is the opinion. The current information at paragraph 13 on page 296. The current information contained in the dockets is scanty and too vague to formulate charges against any suspects. As a result, legal services is unable to confirm that the required elements of any offense are contained in the dockets. So again, I ask you, Mr. Nkabinde, why could you not wait for the outcome of this process before rushing off to IDEC on the 11th of November?
Because these are different processes.
I fail to understand the difference. It's
The difference is
the same dockets.
can proceed.
Okay, you talk.
The difference is, Chairperson, inspectorates are dealing with service delivery complaints. They are not investigating criminal matters. So criminal matters has to proceed to get investigated, irrespective of it's been referred to IDEC or not referred to IDEC. But it has to be investigated. Hence, I made a very a clear example, Chairperson, that if I report a member of parliament to ethics committee, that has nothing to do with a criminal matter of an assault case. You cannot now say why Cape Town Central are investigating assault because ethics committee is busy with that. Those are two separate processes. It's exactly the same as this one. What you are reading there, I'm also impressed. They are doing very good when it comes to service delivery complaints. But there's nothing stopping me to refer the matter to the relevant so that criminal investigation gets started as well.
So what would you call the inspectorate's investigation and Officer Phillips' affidavit? What is that? Is that a different kind of inspection or investigation? What is it?
He is investigating service delivery complaint.
Yes. So they say.
Is not investigating corruption as alleged by complainant. Is not investigating fraud. Is not investigating nepotism. Is investigating why this docket and Chair, if I can make an example with my experience as a police officer, I'm hearing that the information it's about this case were registered 2 days. It is wrong not to allocate a docket for 2 days because the SAPS regulations, every new docket must have a 24-hour inspection. So it is wrong that you open a case, you receive a case number on your cell phone message, and for 2 days is not allocated. It's wrong. It's definitely need inspectorate to investigate why this docket took 2 days to get allocated. Those are their functions in inspectorate.
Now they look into the dockets, isn't it? They look into the dockets, and at the end of that inspection investigation process, they find that the content of the docket is too scanty and too vague and doesn't disclose a crime, even a common law crime like the complaint that relates to theft and fraud, nepotism, let alone outright corruption. You haven't looked at, you can't even argue about it because you haven't looked into the docket. Now, your complaint to IDEC has resulted in the head of our crime intelligence and others being arrested. That is the upshot of your complaint to IDEC, isn't it? Obviously, you're not responsible. Well, you are, because you referred the matter, you've got to take responsibility. But you will say, well, you referred it to IDEC, they had to do their job, they had to do the investigations, and they're the ones who arrested him and had him charged. But it started with your referral, which I want to submit to you in conclusion on this point, to be entirely inappropriate. That's putting it mildly.
Chair, as Senior Counsel is concluded in this matter, let me also conclude by saying I've done nothing wrong in me referring that matter to IDEC.
So,
Sorry, Chair, just clarity. I recall when the head of IDAC was here, she said that there's a process that gets followed in terms of reporting corruption to IDAC that you need to complete. Was it a section 27 or something?
27 years.
A section 27 needs
27.
to be sent. So who, when you referred this matter to IDAC, who then completes the section 27? Is it the complainant or is it yourself?
The complainant will be the best person to give affidavit because he will know what is he complaining about. What I did here is to refer the matter that we've received something like this, but there's the details of the complainant. You can consider looking into the matter.
So you would then think that IDAC prompted the complainant to complete the section
Yes,
27,
yes,
and that's why it was acted on.
yes. I would have assumed that.
Honorable Nomvalo.
I'm waiting. I was just waiting.
Yeah, no, I want to check with you, Mr. Nkabinde, if after the referral that you forwarded to IDEC, you were able to then make a follow-up in terms of progress, or you just ended by sending a referral and allowed IDEC to deal with the matter further? What happened after you submitted the referral? Did you make a follow-up to check progress?
Chair, referral to IDEC, we are not expecting any form of feedback because they are reporting to another minister. So we just leave them as independent and they should be. We don't make even any follow-up. Even in this case, I don't even know what happened after that.
So you don't even know if ultimately the claimant, I mean the complainant, was called by IDEC to file an affidavit.
Yes, I don't even know.
You don't even know
now, yes.
what transpired.
Yes.
Okay.
But for my side, I was safe because I have proof that I never sit in the complaint I referred.
Okay. No, it's fine. Thank you.
Honorable Matthys.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Nkabinde, just for clarity, the minister, did the minister instruct you to refer the complaint to IDEC? Or you just took it upon yourself to refer it to IDEC?
Chair, in respect of this matter or this complaint, every complaint, we run it through the minister. Because
Okay, so the minister,
then
we're just asking you, the minister asked you to,
then the minister, yes, said,
Yeah.
okay, refer to IDEC.
Okay, do you know whether the minister engaged the justice minister about it or the head of the NPA? That they are expected to receive a complaint?
No.
And then in your communication with Honorable Adams, did he indicate that he wanted the matter to go to IDEC?
No, in his email, he just said independent board. We used our discretion.
Thank you.
Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. When you say we are going to use our own discretion, are you saying, are you with other people?
With minister.
No. On this matter, the one you said that you refer matters to the National Commission, am I right?
Yes.
But besides this one in particular of Honorable Adams, you took your own decision to refer it to IDEC, am I right?
No, I'm saying every complaint, you don't refer anything without present it to the minister.
Yeah,
and the
I'm
minister
saying-
will then advise that send this to IPID, send this to HOC, send this to IDEC.
Yeah, I'm saying to you, remember what the Honorable Matthys said to you, and you said yourself that besides this one, why are you saying besides this one?
I was trying to give her a standard practice.
Now, on this one, there was no standard practice.
This one also follow the standard practice
No.
that any complaints I run through the minister first, because those people are writing to the minister, in fact, not to me.
I understand that.
Yes.
But you said this is the only complaint which you referred to IDEC, am I right? If I heard you well.
Yes, since I joined with all my referrals, this is the only complaint I have referred to IDEC.
Why was this one in particular special to be sent to IDEC?
Because it has an indication that a complainant is not having any confidence with the National Commissioner.
Now,
And on top of that, besides even that, he requested that his cases can it be investigated by an independent body.
Chair, it will come at a later stage, Mr. Nkabinde. That's not the only case, but thank you.
Can I check if we still have further questions? Clarity seeking. Okay, let's see. How much more time do you need to conclude?
I don't know, Chair. If I can get a clear run, I can finish sooner. But I would suspect about 20 minutes, half an hour.
You need 20 minutes to half an hour. Is that what you are saying? SC? You say you need 20 minutes to half an
20 to 30 minutes.
I'm giving you 40 minutes. You are going to have I give you a home run. You run uninterrupted.
Can I bet a bit longer?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
So do you agree, honorable members? From here, we can
No.
only ask questions after he would have concluded.
Mr. Nkabinde. Did you inform the minister that you are referring the matter to IDEC?
I presented it to the minister and the minister advised me to refer to IDEC.
Notwithstanding the fact that the minister signed off on a recommendation giving the inspectorate a further 10 days to investigate the matter. You say the minister was informed by you that you were referring it to IDEC.
Yes, because it has nothing to do with that inspectorate investigation.
Okay, I suppose the rest is for argument because it just doesn't make sense to me. You say in your referral to IDEC, it's CMN5. Attached, please find for ease of reference, copy of a written correspondence addressed to the Honourable Minister of Police by Honourable Member of Parliament, Honourable Fadil Adams.
Yes.
So you skip out an entire process. This referral is the one that of 1 November. That's the referral that you're referring to.
Which process I've skipped?
The process that happened subsequently when you wrote to the National Commissioner.
That has
And said,
nothing to
"Please
do with this.
investigate."
That has nothing to do with this.
So I want to put it to you. Either you did this without telling the minister that you are referring this matter to IDEC.
Now, all the complaints, we present them to the minister.
So you're saying today that the Minister Mchunu at the time, was complicit in referring this scanty complaint that lacked any veracity to IDEC for investigation.
No, minister did a very good job to refer something. Because if he sits on it, it will be committing a defeating ends of justice.
In your affidavit, so what was your, just remind me again, your answer was that the minister was aware that you are referring it to IDEC.
Yes.
The minister didn't instruct you or direct you immediately to refer it to IDEC.
He directed me when I was presenting this complaint. In fact, it was not even one complaint. It was several complaints, and this one was included.
So sorry, what did he tell you?
No, we were discussing. Remember, I'm presenting the complaints. I'm giving him the merits. I'm giving him that this complainant, he require an independent body and is complaining about the National Commissioner. Then the minister said IDEC will be appropriate if now is complaining about the national commissioner.
So you say at paragraph 67 of your main affidavit, Minister Mchunu decided to have it referred, decided to have it so referred, and on 11 November, I directed correspondence to IDEC to have the matter referred for investigation.
That's correct.
It's not quite the same. It's not quite the same as what you say in your letter. The letter says that the letter says attached here to for ease of reference, copy of a written correspondence addressed to the Honourable Minister by Honourable Member of Parliament.
Yes.
It is different, materially different.
Then what
He's
happened?
adopting, yes, you're adopting a hands-off approach. You say, look, the minister has received this complaint, and here with the complaint, I'm sending it to you.
Like my email to the national commissioner, I said that the ministry received this complaint. We're referring to you.
No, but you don't say here, which is what you say in your oral evidence today, and you confirm in your affidavit, is that the minister has not only received this complaint, he's discussed it with you. You said you discussed it amongst other complaints, and he has decided to refer it to IDEC. Can we agree that that's not what your letter says to IDEC?
Do you think I was supposed to say that? For what? For what?
All right. I'm sure there'll be some other questions that you can answer later on. I think it's materially important that you say to an institution or to a unit like IDEC or to an anti-corruption body that the minister has decided this thing, and herewith I'm referring it to you.
Should I send all my letters to you first and proofread?
No.
In certain,
Let's please hold there. The chair is outside. So there's a general rule that when the chair is outside, I'm the acting chair. Mr. Nkabinde, we don't think you are respectful in terms of how you are responding to what the SC is asking you. You can't say those things that should I send it to you before I do this and that. You can disagree with what the SC is saying, but you can't do that in a respectful way. It's completely incorrect. It's unacceptable if you are going to treat these two settings in that way. This is the third question. Now I'm noticing you are responding in a very wrong way. So can you please refrain from that?
Not that.
Before you respond,
Honourable Matthys?
no, but I don't know when did it become a general rule that you are the acting chair? Don't take us for granted like that.
Mr. Nkabinde has noted that SC, you can proceed.
yes, acting chair.
Yeah, but it's not a joke.
Okay. Mr. Nkabinde, can we move to the minister's directive of the 31st of December 2024? You had no role to play in advising the minister or drafting or co-drafting the directive? No?
That's correct, Chair.
What was your role?
My
If any-
role was to send out the letter of directives.
Did you, were you in physically in the office when you were required to send the directive off to various people?
No. I was at home
You were at home and the minister was also at home.
and the minister was also at his home, yes.
Did he first call you?
He called me to say that there's a letter of directives he will need me to send out.
So he must have sent the letter to you
Yes, he did.
and you then sent it onward.
Yes.
Now that letter is CMN 3. Oh, sorry. The email, the letter itself, sorry, is not attached, but the email attachment is CMN 4. No, 3. No. Have you got CMN 3?
Do you have a page number?
Your affidavit, Mr. Nkabinde, it's not paginated. The main affidavit. So have you got it? Did the minister send you the directive also by email, or how did he send it to you, a fax, or what? How did he send it?
Email.
Email.
Yes.
You don't have that email from the minister to yourself that you can share with us.
No.
You don't have it at all, or you just haven't.
I can go through my laptop once my laptop is back.
Are you able to locate it as soon as possible and send it and let us have it?
I don't know when will my laptop be back.
Or is it also one of the devices that
Yeah.
been seized?
I can't even check the minister's device. They were also taken.
So you'll make a note that you'll send it to us. So what did the minister instruct you or direct you to do?
He said he needs me to send the letter of directive to the national commissioner and copy the acting national commissioner who was going to act at that time, Lieutenant General Mosekiti.
So did you know, were you aware that the national commissioner was at that time going to take leave,
Yes, I was aware.
and that the national commissioner Mosekiti, that's how you pronounce it, Mosekiti.
Mosekiti, yes.
So the minister tells you send it to the national commissioner, to the soon to be acting national commissioner, and to who else?
That's all. He just gave me those two names.
Okay. With no other instructions.
No, not at all.
So your email on CMN 3 is addressed to quite a few people.
Yes.
Did you email this to them on your own initiative, of your own bat? You weren't instructed by the minister to send it to them.
That is a standard practice.
Oh, okay. Standard practice to send it to, now let's look at the name. Masemola is the national commissioner. Mosekiti is the soon to be acting national commissioner. Sebola
Is an executive manager of the National Commissioner,
the Toko,
staff office of the National Commissioner,
Landu,
the PA of the minister,
Mtembu,
our PLO in the ministry,
Mkhwanazi,
the spokesperson of the minister,
and Pakoli is
the
the
special advisor to the minister, yes.
Pakoli is the special advisor. Okay. And who is that person? Home 13404@gmail.com.
Is the email of the minister, private email of the minister.
Okay. So before the directive was sent, apparently there was some exchange between the minister and I speak subject to correction. You may have also asked Advocate Pakoli to make some changes, some comments. Is that right?
That's correct.
Were any other persons involved?
Not at all.
So are you, I suppose you wouldn't know, when you received the directive from the minister, it's been signed by him,
That's correct.
and you would have assumed that he drafted the directive.
That's correct.
So how did you know, when did you know that Advocate Pakoli also had some hand in it?
The minister instructed me that before I send, I must send it to Advocate Bigoli for proofreading and inputs. I'm the one who sent it to Advocate Bigoli.
So that was the instruction.
Yes.
Okay. And the acting commissioner, where would the acting commissioner have been at that time when you sent it on the 31st?
I'm not sure unless if she will be in Pretoria.
So wherever they were, they would have received this
Yes,
email,
yes, they do because
the email address.
yeah, it's synergized with our cell phones. So you get your emails anytime.
And what did you think about the directive when you read it, when you saw it?
No, I just treat it as one of those directives that it's just between a directive between the National Commissioner and the minister. I never have any thought of it.
And the content of it, don't fill, there's a moratorium on the filling of intelligence posts, border posts, disbandment of the PKTT. You would agree three major decisions.
Yes.
You didn't think anything of it or asked minister any questions?
No, did not think of so.
And the fact that this is the last day of the year didn't strike you as odd or strange?
No, it was not strange because we were busy working even on that day.
What was your experience, if any, of the PKTT before that day, before the 31st of December 2024?
No, there's absolutely nothing. I now start to hear about PKTT when there's these proceedings. There's absolutely nothing about PKTT that I know.
Were you not at any meetings with either General Mkhwanazi or Khumalo before then?
Before 31st.
Yeah.
Yes, there were meetings where PKTT was mentioned, which I attended.
Yeah, can I refer you to your affidavit at paragraph 68 on page 23?
I got it.
You've got it?
Yes.
So you say, do I ever have knowledge of the existence of PKTT? I recall attending meetings in November 2024, which was attended by SAP's top management, of course, in my capacity as a chief of staff.
Which paragraph?
Paragraph 69 of your original affidavit.
I got it.
So what were those meetings? You talk about meetings in November 2024.
Yes, there was a meeting 21st of November. There was a meeting 22nd of November where the PKTT issue was touched on.
And who all attended that meeting?
The first meeting was the top management, deputy ministers. The 22nd meeting was the top management again and all provincial commissioners.
And as you say in paragraph 70, you attend all meetings with the minister as his chief of staff.
That's correct.
So what was discussed in these meetings in November?
Even though I won't have the full picture, but the main topic was about an organizational structure. They were finalizing a new organizational structure. So there were several issues pertaining to that. And the PKTT issue was touched on during that discussion.
So where did the PKTT, according to your recollection, where did it fit into the organizational structure?
It was agreed that it will fall under a murder and robbery unit. Serious and violent crime unit was gonna be in a new structure, and the murder and robbery unit as a component, and all these other task teams and specialized unit will fall under this murder and robbery unit, respectively.
I'm not going to engage you any further on it because of time, but those of us who were in the hearings when Minister Mchunu, your minister, testified, didn't quite relay your understanding of what was said in that meeting the way you do today. So there seems to be a conflict. It wasn't discussed in the way that you're conveying to us today.
It was discussed like that. It was not a standalone issue, but during those interaction about organizational structure, PKTT was touched on, including inspectorate was touched on, including VISPOL and ORS was touched on.
So your recollection, it was touched on.
Yes.
It wasn't a standalone topic.
Yes, the standalone topic was an organizational structure.
So it was discussed, as it were, by the way.
It was discussed because it was affected by the new organizational structure. The inspectorate was affected, visible policing was affected, and all the other specialized units was affected.
Are you saying that your recollection is that after that meeting, it was your sense or your impression that the PKTT was going to be disbanded and now fall under murder and robbery?
Yes.
So why did you not respond initially when I asked you what was your reaction when you saw the minister's directive on the 31st of December, which calls for the immediate disestablishment of PKTT? Why didn't you say, oh, well, this wasn't news to me. After the meeting we had in November, where this issue of PKTT was discussed, and it was going to fall under murder and robbery, it didn't come to me as a surprise.
Yes, hence I'm saying I did not have any thoughts because even those three issues for me were not a surprise. So I took it that it's just a directive between the minister and the national commissioner, like I normally facilitate.
Well, I've already put it to you, and I'm going to leave it there, that's not the recollection of Minister Mchunu, certainly not because the National Commissioner was also in that meeting.
Yes.
You say senior management was in it.
Yes.
Who was there on behalf of PKTT?
Kumalo was there. General Mkhwanazi was there. All provincial commissioners were there.
Well, it's certainly not their recollection. They claim, and it seems to be accepted as common cause, that they were not consulted on the disbandment of PKTT before the 31st of December.
No, I can't comment on that. But 22nd of November, this what was discussed. It's an organizational structure, and all affected units were spoken about.
Yeah. So it seems to me, Mr. Nkabinde, that everybody was surprised except you and the minister about the directive on 31st of December.
I am not sure. I can't comment.
And subsequently, not that it's particularly material because you were the chief of staff and not the decision maker, but subsequently you were at the portfolio committee presentation on the 5th of March.
That's correct.
And what did you make then of Lieutenant General Khumalo's presentation? That in fact, that no disbandment is going to take place. It's going to be a phasing out process.
Yeah, that was my understanding as well. That was a national commissioner presented to the minister on the 22nd of January. That this is an approach is going to take. So I was not surprised there because that was a decision of the national commissioner.
Yeah, then on the 6th, the 5th of March, we were here in Parliament. The 6th of March, there's again a high-level presentation by senior management. You were also in that meeting.
That's correct.
And you were also in the meeting of the 27th of March.
That's correct.
Can you confirm at that meeting that you and Minister Mchunu got very angry that he was now being told that there's going to be no disbandment or disestablishment of the PKTT, but it's going to be phased out over time?
No, there's no such thing.
Sorry?
There was no such thing. We already had an understanding through a 22nd of January report. The National Commission made very clear how he is planning to implement a phase-out approach of the PKTT.
And the current situation, what is your view on it? That the PKTT is still alive, kicking, and in operation, taking on more cases?
There's nothing wrong. It's about the national commissioner. He's the one deciding what he wants to do as an accounting officer. For us is to support him.
Now, you, on the 2nd of January, you received a call from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi in relation to the directive,
That's correct.
and you deal with it from paragraph 52 onwards. And in your supplementary, you deal with the recording of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi from paragraph 72 on page 24.
That's correct.
This is what you say in paragraph 52. He asked why I allowed the minister to issue the directive, and further asked me to speak to the minister and to request that he withdraw the directive. He said I should speak to the minister not as chief of staff, but as a person who has known the minister before I became chief of staff. Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi indicated he saw the letter on social media. He indicated that if the minister does not withdraw the directive, there will be fight back. He further indicated that if the minister is clean, he can continue with the implementation of the directive, and they're going to dig up on him when he was premier of KZN.
That's correct.
What did you understand by what, assuming that is what General Mkhwanazi told you as you recorded it? What was your reaction or response to that? You old friends.
Yes, that's correct.
In fact, you hang out together, isn't it?
That's correct.
Okay. So he's phoning you as a bosom buddy.
That's correct.
So what is your response?
No, I said I'll speak to the minister.
Then on the 3rd, you say he called again to ask you whether you've in fact discussed the matter with the minister.
That's correct.
And you told him you didn't have a chance to do so yet.
That's correct.
And what was the reason for that? Did you not take him seriously?
No. I could not have a chance. I was still gonna do it, but I could not have a chance there and there to do it.
But you then did discuss it with the minister. And you told the minister that General Mkhwanazi was not happy.
That's correct.
And you told the minister that he's using language like there'll be a fight back.
That's correct.
What was the minister's response?
The minister just said, let us discuss about it when we meet in Cape Town. We were going to come in to Cape Town. And then he further said, if he's giving such a serious threat, you should consider recording him.
So on the 4th, General Mkhwanazi called again.
That's correct.
And you told him that the matter, the minister said he would discuss the matter when they met in Cape Town.
That's correct.
So did you record General Mkhwanazi on the 4th of January?
No.
And on the 5th of January, you receive a WhatsApp from General Mkhwanazi, which was a forwarded message addressed to the general, whose name is unknown. The WhatsApp message, is that the one that's on page 20 below paragraph 57.5.
That's correct.
Okay. It says, good evening, General, the police minister, chief of staff was contacted by KZN Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. Mkhwanazi has threatened the minister by saying that if the minister does not withdraw the instruction of disbanding the PKTT, General Khumalo and General Mkhwanazi are going to arrest the minister with false cases. General Mkhwanazi also stated that the minister and Parliament Police Committee must leave General Khumalo alone, and they are going to use their contacts to secure warrant of arrest to arrest the minister. General Mkhwanazi has also mentioned to the Chief of Staff that he was appointed by the National Commissioner to be the chairperson in the General Khan departmental trial in January, where he's going to dismiss General Khan because of the minister who is coming after him and General Khumalo. That's where the WhatsApp ends. Now, all that's what in all that is what in the WhatsApp. That's obviously not true. That's not what General Mkhwanazi told him.
Yes, it's not true. That's not what we discussed on the 2nd.
Okay. So that's what General Mkhwanazi sends to you on the 5th. And is it on that day that you recorded your discussion with him?
That's correct.
Was he aware that you were discussing it with him?
Was he aware?
Was he aware that you were recording his discussion with him?
No, he was not.
Why didn't you tell him that you were recording it?
It's because I did not understand why he's sending me a distorted message. Some things that me and him were in conversation with. Now, all of a sudden, on the 5th, he is sending me this message with the distorted information. So I did not understand what a game is played. Then I decided to record so that when again he comes back with something like this, I can produce and have evidence that no. Because I did not understand where this thing is taking us now. Because it's just two of us talking on the 2nd. Now he's sending me a message purportedly about our conversation with a distorted, totally out things that himself he did not even say.
But you've confirmed that the message that is forwarded to you by General Mkhwanazi, that the content of this message.
Point of
is-
order, Chair.
Point of order.
Thank you, Chair. Previously, Mr. Nkabinde, you are now telling us lies. A few minutes ago, you just said to us that the minister suggested that you record General Mkhwanazi. Is that not so?
Yeah, he did say that.
He did say so.
Concede.
So why are you now saying that you recorded him because of the misunderstanding, because you did not understand?
Honorable James, with due respect, I said, let's allow the SC to conclude. And then that matter, you must just note it. We are going to afford your time to raise it with the, just write it down. Well, I will come and afford your time to ask the questions. Thank you.
May I continue, Chair? Honorable Chair. Thank you.
Nako ya go ile ke magotlo. It means you you are on the referee's optional time.
Am I on a yellow?
Yeah, if you look at Honorable Skosana behind you, he is saying to you that the
Was
goals
given a
of
red
winning the match are scored in the dying minutes of the game. That's what he's saying to you.
We'll have to go to VAR, Chair. Mr. Nkabinde, you know this message is not, it's forwarded to you from General Mkhwanazi, but it's not General Mkhwanazi. It's not his message to you. He's sending it to you to tell you, inform you that this is a WhatsApp that has appeared somewhere, and he's sending it to you, that this was on social media.
That's correct.
And you confirm that what's in the WhatsApp, the content is untrue, it's false.
That's correct.
So why do you tell the minister that you had this conversation with General Mkhwanazi, and the minister interprets what you tell him as a threat, and then suggests to you, oh, well, maybe you should record him? That doesn't make sense, Mr. Governor.
I spoke to the minister on the 4th. That is when minister said we'll talk about this in Cape Town. It was before this call. It was before the 5th. The minister, I referred our conversation on the 2nd. That's what I shared with the minister.
Yes. But you only record General Mkhwanazi on the 5th.
On the 5th, yes.
But then he's WhatsApp you several times.
That's correct.
And there's nothing threatening about what he's telling you in the WhatsApps.
Which WhatsApp?
Well, between the 2nd and the 4th.
No, there was nothing threatening. He was just making a follow-up to check if I did speak to the minister or not, and what is the minister saying.
So that's the point that I want to come to. So why would you want to record him? Is it because you wanted to record him? Is it because the minister had suggested or recommended or proposed that you record him?
In this particular one, what prompted me to record is when General Mkhwanazi is sending me a message purportedly to be our conversation, just two of us, but with a distorted information.
And subsequent to you, I think we have tried to play the recording, but it is corrupted. Maybe it was sent to IDEC. It was corrupted, so we couldn't hear the exchange properly, because the minister had brought it here and said we should play it. Do you recall that?
Yes, I recall.
Uh-huh. What was your recollection of what was discussed?
What was discussed where?
Yeah, was it threatening?
It was threatening. Fight back is a threat. There'll be fight back. We'll dig on you while you as a premier. That's a threat.
Yeah. So are you now saying that? Let me just find the message. Are you now saying that part of this WhatsApp that was forwarded to you by General Mkhwanazi on the 5th, that is partly accurate?
It is partly accurate.
Okay. Yeah, now you're moving a bit. You said first the contents are entirely false. Now part of it is actually true.
Yes.
Okay. Why didn't you again look at it and see what other parts might be, according to your recollection, what General Mkhwanazi told you?
Which are in this message.
Yes.
For the minister to withdraw the instruction of disbandment, he did say that he wanted me to speak to the minister about.
But would you accept, Mr. Nkabinde, that if, according to General Mkhwanazi, General Kumalo, General Masimola, the key people involved with PKTT on the operational side, who weren't consulted, that if they say no, you must withdraw the instruction or the directive, is that a threat?
He did not say you never consulted, you must withdraw. He said he must withdraw, otherwise there'll be fight back. And otherwise, we're gonna dig him while he was a premier. He never said, and in fact, if General Mkhwanazi, because he is a close person to me, if he was open up, maybe I would have arranged other things, maybe arranged him to meet the minister or something.
Okay. Maybe just quickly move on to another topic. I'm sure the issue of the WhatsApps and all that's going to be further explored with you. A search and seizure warrant was also granted against you to seize your electronic devices.
That's correct.
Why do you think? And I think we've got the affidavit of Brigadier Kuneni. You are implicated. Is it the next to the affidavit? The notice of application for the search and seizure is an exhibit. And you've got a copy. We had previously made it available.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So without going into any detail, you are implicated by Brigadier Kuneni and I think the key paragraph is at paragraph 61 on page 21.
61.
Or rather, let's start at paragraph 59 of the affidavit. You find it?
50.
Paragraph 59 on page 21.
Yes, I got it.
This is what Brigadier Kuneni says. Mchunu, Nkosi, Nkabinde, and Sabia are the people to whom Mkhwanazi and Matlala had direct and indirect access to. Mchunu, Nkabinde, and Sabia were the chief role players in the disbandment and disestablishment of the PKTT. Matlala and Mkhwanazi's communications on the one hand, and Sabia, Nkabinde, and Mchunu's irrational conduct relating to the immediate disbandment of PKTT on the other, establish a factual basis for the reasonable suspicion that they are complicit in the unlawful termination of the PKTT. And then at this stage, this is the following facts, points towards the existence of a common purpose or conspiracy Mkhwanazi's knowledge of the disbandment of the PKTT prior to this decision actually taken? Mkhwanazi's knowledge that the dockets were to be forwarded to the police headquarters weeks before Sabia's correspondence was prepared and emailed? Mkhwanazi's possession of WK2, that's an exhibit before it was in the public domain, that's the directive. The fact that Mkhwanazi forwarded WK2, the directive, to Matlala and then explained the disestablishment process going forward indicates that Matlala had a vested interest in the termination of PK22. Why would Mkhwanazi explain these irrelevant details to him on a public holiday? Matlala's pledge to support Mchunu in whatever help he needs just before WK2 and his subsequent further financial contribution towards the flight tickets for the ANC's 113 annual celebrations in early January 2025. Mchunu's disestablishment of PKTT without any consultation with the main role players and his failure to provide any cogent reason for his decision. Sabia and Nkabinde's absolute disregard to Masamola's decision and instruction of a phased out approach in the establishment of the PKT. Your comment on this? That's the basis on which the warrant was obtained, isn't it? In court, it goes to a judge. These allegations are made on oath, and the warrant is then authorized.
My comment will be this affidavit and all these allegations, it was compiled in order to obtain a search and seizure warrant. So to obtain a search and seizure warrant and get all those relevant devices and so forth, it's for them now to conduct investigation. So if one will comment, I will say I support their move. I fully support their move that when there are such allegations, investigate so that you will get evidence to avoid unnecessary speculations and assumption. So I fully agree and support what they are doing in taking those devices so that they can prove their case. Because what I like with investigation as an investigator myself, the investigation prove you guilty or disprove you guilty.
Well, but then you also suffer the inconvenience of having your mobile devices seized. You can't use them. You end up appearing in a hearing and you forget the dates because you don't have your devices. And there's all kinds of other inconveniences you suffer. The public humiliation, having your devices seized and being a suspect in a really serious charge of conspiracy to disband the PKTT. Okay. No.
That is exactly the reason why I support the investigation. So that after all this humiliation, the investigation will reveal the truth, whether someone is guilty or is innocent, instead of speculating.
I've been shown a yellow card before I get a red card, you know, like the Springboks get every week. I'm going to ask Chair that there is one other aspect, if I could come back at some other stage, that relates to your leaving IPID in 2018. If I could just reserve that for later. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nkabinde.
Okay. So thank you so much, SC and Mr. Nkabinde. Honorable members, this is what we are going to do. I have calculated your time. We are going to run until 10 o'clock to 10:30. So what we are going to do today, because it's 11 of you, I'm allocating each one of you 30 minutes flat. There is nobody who's going to be allowed to ask follow-up questions. You will ask within your allocated time. So each one of you has 30 minutes standing alone. You don't share it with anybody. So if you have any follow-up question, write it down. Your time will come. You will ask at that time. Honorable Skosan.
But how are you going to predict what the chief whip is going to ask?
Yeah, no. Remember, I agree with what you are saying, but sometimes the follow-up questions take us too long. And that is why, because I'm a benevolent chairperson, I compensate you by giving you extra 10 minutes. Yeah, and those who are alternates were supposed to say the chairperson is...
Now, Chair, because today we have extra members, we've got Honorable Zigalala and Honorable Mkhwanazi. You are aware of that? Though I don't know which party are they from, but they are with us here.
Advocate.
Now
Advocate Mkhwanazi and Advocate...
Mkhwanazi is. No, it's honorable. When we are saying advocate, no, today they are honorables today. Now, what I wanted to find out from you, Chair, was if I give 20 minutes of my time, I reserve the 10 minutes for follow-up. Is that fine? Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, yes. If you reserve 10 minutes to do follow-ups,
Thank you, Chair.
You can always come and use those 10 minutes.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, it's up to yourself. I did not want to disadvantage anybody because sometimes follow-up distract speakers. And one other tendency I have observed is that follow-ups are often used opportunistically, but the chair will decide not to stop members from speaking even when there are those opportunistic manifestations. So now I'm giving you 15 minutes break. Honorable members, we are coming back at 15 minutes after 4 so that Mr. Nkabinde can go and drink water. Yeah. You can go and drink water. There is Tloyabule behind you. You can check with him how you have been faring. He can give you an assessment in those 10 to 15 minutes. I instruct you to stand up and go out. Or you want me to write a letter and request the chief whip to instruct you?